Hello YouTube, it's Back in the Day Toys with a decent car boot haul video for a change. Some really nice stuff this week. It was a very short car boot sale. In fact, we could only car boot for 2 hours today. We got there at 6 and we had to leave at 8 because we had to try and get Glastonbury tickets for some friends of mine. So this is what we found in 2 hours. So this little lot in the corner here cost me £10 total. I was drawn over to this little box with retro action figures in it, which is always what we like to see. Yellow Power Ranger, black Power Ranger, blue Power Ranger, green and pink. They have this tiny little Groot. This is like scavenger Groot. But I'm not sure if it's official or not. It's very small, but there doesn't seem to be any markings. It's quite highly detailed, but I don't know if that's official or not. This Spider-Man, which seems to be quite a common one to find for some reason, with some weird twisty action that doesn't seem to work that well. And this one, and I asked her how much they were, and she said 50p each, so absolute bargain. That's what we like to see. £1, £2, £3, £4 for 8 beautiful action figures. I asked about the Rugrats. She said these were £1 each, which isn't great, but I mean, they are Rugrats. And then the teddy bears were £1 each. I thought I might be able to bundle these up and sell them on, maybe, or maybe someone would like them. But then I realised this one's he's a bit grubby, and she's a bit grotty too. So those ones, which are the nicer of the two, I think, than the Christmas ones, they need some work. But anyway, tenner for that little job lot there. Found this Cartoon Network annual from the year 2000. This was 50p. Was really chuffed to see some Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory stuff in here. Actually had a flick through. Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory don't feature at all. You get Flintstones, you get Jetsons, you do get Cow and Chicken. I do love Cow and Chicken. And then you get a bit more of the Wacky Races, some Jetsons again. Then there was some more Cow and Chicken, and then it went back to Hong Kong Phooey, and then the Flintstones. So yeah, none of the Johnny Bravo stuff in that one, or Dexter, which is a shame, but still, worth 50p. This is one of my favourite little lots of the day. I went over and saw that they had the video games. Now, there was an older guy and then like a child that were there, and they were both getting just, hammered for people asking questions. I asked the boy how much the games were. He said £1 each. So I picked up Homefront the Revolution, Dying Light, which I can't remember if I've ever played, and 2K19, but unfortunately the servers have already been removed from that long ago. It said £1 each, so I gave him £3. It was only when I got home that I realised, ta-da, I have Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy in there, and I actually have the actual Homefront game disc underneath as well. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's under there. So yeah, 4 games for £3, bargain. I was then looking around on the table. They had a load of Lego, but it was quite expensive. I found these. I think these are Dragon Ball Z Evolve or Evolution figures. They're not bad. He wanted a £5 for 3, and I thought, well, this is probably the only action figures I'm going to find all day, so I bought them for a £5. How wrong I was. Well, when I came back later, there was a kid going through a box full of wrestlers. One of my friends, Joe, had already pulled out a Chip Hazard from Small Soldiers. And the little boy said to the other boy, all of the action figures are £1 each. And I thought, my God, I can't wait for this other kid to, pull his toys out. He'd already taken out this one, Mr. T, as a referee, which you don't see every day. I don't ever remember Mr. T being a referee. And he had this cane, which is a pretty decent looking cane, I would say, 2011 cane, along with some others. So he was starting a little pile. I started a little pile, started pulling out Sting here, and this weird backwards Flash character, and Sonic. And then the older of the two lads came over and said, oh, the figurines are something like £4 each, or £3 each, or £2 each, or 3 for a tenner. They couldn't make their minds up on the prices. But because I'd been told, oh, they're £1 each, I'd started already pulling things out. I had this massive pile on the table, and suddenly I was like, Jesus, I was going to get 10 for a tenner. Now it looks more like 10's going to cost me like 40 quid. So they came over and they were like, oh, you want all these? And I was like, I'm going to have to put some back. I think I misunderstood. I thought they were £1, so I was buying a load of them. The other kid, he didn't want to pay more than £1 a figure either, so he left. Didn't buy any. I definitely wanted this guy. I don't know what on earth is going on with this Superman. I'm assuming it's Superman, but he was too cool to leave behind. I definitely wanted this Kane because he was cool, and this one here, and this one here, and this one here, and this one here. I think in the end I had those 7, something like that, and I said, what would you like for the 7? And he went, take another 3 and call it a tenner. So now they're back to £1 each again. So I went, oh, well, if they're all £1 each, mate, I'll buy the entire box. I'll buy all of them. And he was like, no, just these ones. So I don't know what was going on. In the end, I paid 10 there, 5 there, and 3 there. So that was, 18 quid. So was happy with that. Bought this little fairy book, which has its own little pop-up box. That's Mary Cecily Baker or something like that. Cecil Mary Baker, sorry. That was a nice one from the 80s for 50p. Probably paid up more than I should have with these ones. Thor, A Time of Evil comic. Thor, What Power Unleashed comic. The Son of Satan comic. Plop. 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 Spider-Man, The Exploits of Spider-Man Collector's Edition, number 1 from 1992. Guy said this is a run of 4. There's number 2. And then there's number 3, and then there's number 7. So not quite a run, but they were all in that big bag at the bottom, so I couldn't see. It says it has a free poster, does indeed have a free poster. And this one, Marvel Super Special Magazine of Star-Lord. So he wanted a tenner just for that one, and then he wanted 20 quid for these Spider-Mans, these Plops, and the 2 Thors. I counted them up, there's 11, so I thought 11 for 30 quid, they're like, what, £2.50 each, so I just went, oh, sod it. Doesn't look like I'm going to get very much today with it being a short car boot and all, so I had them for 30 quid. Picked this up, this Cthulhu, the Ancient One tribute box. Asked the fella how much, he said 3 quid, it's all sealed. Offered him 2, he said no. On the bottom it says $19.99. Got home, saw on Amazon they're more like 15 with free delivery. Still 3 quid for a nice little Cthulhu statue. Actually really love this. It's like a little bag for a little kid, but it has a little dinosaur, and you can unzip him and take him out so that you can have a dinosaur toy if you want, and then when you're finished playing with him you can zip him back in his little bag. It's so cute. And it has a tag, and it was £1, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, I love it so much. I love the fabric, I love his little face, I just think it's awesome. And the woman was like, yeah, your kid will love it too. And I had to go, yeah, I don't have a kid. I'm literally buying this for a future child that may or may not exist. But for £1, I couldn't leave it behind. Bought this little weird sign that I'm going to put on the bathroom of a distinguished gentleman. That was 50p. Bought these. These are very strange. These are like some sort of Japanese build them yourself sort of toy things, but they were really cool. They're like robots being ridden by tiny little men. So one of them, this one was a £5. He wanted 4 quid for this one. He did the pair for 8. I just thought they looked really cool. I've not seen any weird, crazy robot things like that. So I spent 8 quid on those. Same person had this hat from Domino's that was £1. And I bought this Dark Souls 3 hat for 50p as well, which has definitely seen better days, but who knows, might be a collectible to someone. Found this. This is my favourite find of the day. I forget what these are called, something like X-Force, Executioners, definitely X something. But this guy, holy moly, absolutely love him. Asked the fella how much he was, and didn't want it to be obvious that that was, you know, the winner. So I asked how much this one was, and he said that was £1 and this was 2. So I said, you know what, I'll have both. And while I was going to pay, I found this old Superman who's seen better days. This Captain Hook, this dude who I think is he the bad guy from the New Adventures of He-Man? I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong on that one. But yeah, he's definitely vintagey. And this thing, which turns out to be a Fisher-Price space nonsense thing, in the end he said £5 for the lot. Bargain. Can't go wrong. Last few little bits from the first card boot. Cards Against Disney. It's like a Cards Against Humanity game. That was a £5. Looked online, they're more like 15 new. This Lego Creator set, now it is opened. All the bits are in one box. The lady said she thinks it's complete. When I first looked up on eBay, these are going for like 300, 250, but that's not the sold price, you know, that's Maniacs online. Either way, nice little Lego set. And Spyro, in fact Spyro got the second card boot, he's in the wrong pile. Bought Spyro for £1, thought he was a bargain for a vintage Spyro plushie. Forgot that he was in Skylanders, so this is like Skylanders Spyro, not vintage Spyro, but what difference does it make, really? And then I got some little bits of the second car boot sale. This little Captain Simeon came from someone else and was 50p. All these other little bits were 50p from another seller. I think this is a McDonald's toy. Yeah, McDonald's Digimon toy. This like 1970s Corgi Magic Roundabout little rabbit who definitely needs a clean. This robot, who I can't find online, I think he said 97 Bandai, he's missing an arm and his joints are all super loosey-goosey, but yeah, really like him. This guy, who, as you can see, the sunlight goes through him with that translucent goo. He's from Men in Black, love him. Fantastic Mr. Robot with its own key. And I had a little look at him, was like, oh, he's cool, we'll have him. There is no key. Need to find a key for him. Action Man doorknobs decorate a room in minutes. One of the most random things I've ever found at a car boot, I think. This is one of the few things I can't find anything of online. This is Rock and Rock Donkey. I don't know. I can't find anything about that online. So I'll have to dig deeper for that one. Game Boy Super Mario Land 2. 6 golden coins instruction booklet. A tiny, tiny, tiny little Alf. Can't find any date or stamp on him. And this weird looking fella, he's very strange. Got some odd little helmet on there. Got his weird face and a Z. Just says made in Taiwan, nothing else. So, don't know what the crack is with him, but who knows. But that was the second car boot. So we essentially spent about a £5 at the second car boot. I don't know what we spent here. 10 on the Lego. 30 on the comics, 40, 50, 55, 60, 70, 80. I think we spent about 90 quid all in, which actually, now I look at all this, is a substantial amount of money, really, isn't it? But never mind, we had fun. That's the main thing. We got some games, we got some comics, we got some action figures, we got some Lego, we got, you know, all sorts of goodies. So, can't go wrong with that. Anyway, hope you're all good, guys. Take care. Bye.